Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and thank you to our witnesses for being here today. I do appreciate it. I welcome today's hearing as part of this committee's effort to restore consistent and annual oversight of our nation's housing regulators. This oversight is critical to ensuring the agencies under our jurisdiction focus solely on their core missions. In line with our committee's 50-0 vote in support of my legislation, H.R. 7280, which is the HUD Transparency Act, I continue to advocate for the passage of this important piece of bipartisan legislation. And what it does is it requires the Inspector General to testify before Congress annually. And you are aware of it. And although it's not in place right now, I really appreciate your appearance today before us. So thank you for coming before us. Ms. Oliver Davis and Mr. Tomney, earlier this year, we had the former HUD secretary before this committee, and a lot of this was brought up concerning waste, fraud, and abuse. And the HUD secretary made a statement that really disturbed me. And what she said was, in part, I quote, "I wish someone would tell me where the waste, fraud, and abuse is." Wow. I think the work you've both published tells the former secretary exactly where and how much misconduct has taken place and is currently taking place. So my question to both of you is quite simple. What role do whistleblowers play in the work that you do to uncover this waste, fraud, and abuse? And we'll start with Mr. Tomney.
Thank you for the question. Whistleblowers and people coming forth are very important to us. We have our hotline that receives dozens and hundreds of tips throughout the year. There's all types of different mechanisms for folks, including hearings like this, to be educated on exactly what an OIG does. And so it's very important. Our Office of Investigations has done great work in following the fraud, waste, and abuse that's been reported.
And Ms. Oliver Davis, do you agree with his statement?
Oh, certainly. They are essential to us. They see and hear things that we simply can't.
So would you say that the HUD secretary was aware of these statements, of the things that they've seen and have reported back?
I know that the department is aware of whistleblowers, and I know they're aware of the importance of whistleblowers in our work. We issued a management alert recently stating that employees of contractors that serve under HAP contracts are not being recognized for potential protections under the Whistleblower Act in HUD. So that's something that we're raising awareness within the department. It's something that's very important.
But it would be fair to say that the HUD secretary would be aware that there is waste, fraud, and abuse, correct?
I believe so. I believe so. That's right.
Thank you. With that, Ms. Oliver Davis, along those lines, I also want to bring up a management report that you issued to the then Deputy Secretary and now Acting Secretary Todman in May of 2023 after the HUD OIG identified that there was a significant gap in whistleblower protections for contractor employees pre-2013 that do not include congressionally enacted anti-retaliation provisions referred to as Section 4712. Could you tell us some of the recommendations that you have for this?
Yes, absolutely. One of the recommendations we have is that the department get their arms around the scope of this problem. We identified it in the context of HAP contracts. There are thousands. I'm fearful that perhaps this is also a present problem throughout HUD's portfolio, but we're asking HUD to attend to that and to let us know. We're also asking HUD to go to their partners that have these contracts in place and ask them to consent to amend the contract to protect the very contract employees that they're employing.
Thank you. I yield my time.